The following is a mechanically reproduced announcement, previously recorded from a live scheduled program on 24.7 The Stream. This is not a live broadcast. All guests, callers, and hosts granted 24.7 The Stream permission to be recorded. This program may contain strong language or topics not suited for younger listeners. Parental discretion is advised. Thank you for listening to 24.7 The Stream.
Welcome to A Gang of Girls Radio. Join Ariel Grace, a 20-year intuitive coach, Reiki master, metaphysical teacher, and talk radio personality, as she brings you experts in metaphysics, spiritual, and paranormal, psychic kids, and fun yet informative, intuitive insight. Here is your host of A Gang of Girls Radio, Ariel Grace on 24/7 The Stream.
Good evening, everyone. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream. I'm your host, Ariel Grace. Hey, it's Monday. I love Mondays because I get to talk to you. And I'd like to hear what you have to say. So please do jump skip over to chat at 247thestream.com. Just sign on in with your Facebook account or sign in as a guest. Be mysterious. Try to figure out who I am. You never know. Anyway, we have a really cool show tonight. And this is a really neat lady. Her name is Cinnamon Mancini. We're going to bring her in here in a few minutes. But she is a spiritualist medium, psychic counselor, and teacher of intuitive arts. She's an evidential medium. Do you know what that is? I kind of know what that is, but I want to find out from someone who is that. So she's going to be telling her story tonight and informing us on how and what she does. And I think it's really cool, too. I talked to her on the phone today, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, this can be a good show. But before we pull her on, I was talking to Lucy Zalanga today, who is our astrologer here at Elevated Delights. And she was like, oh, my God, I need to put something up for the radio show tonight because we've got eclipses and full moons and all this stuff. So she wanted me to let you know about this. All right. This is our little astrological report here. So tonight's a full moon. Yeah. Woo. Everybody watch out in traffic. Okay. Because people drive like crazy during the full moon. Please be careful. All right. So the full moon is the Virgo full moon. That's what she's calling it. Was exact this afternoon, but there's still time to write your intentions. In fact, unlike even a week ago, you may now know better what intentions serve you best. You may know more details about your needs, for example. You may be better to articulate your needs. The words may flow more easily, and because we're in Pisces season, your intention may also be more sensitive to your higher self and greater purpose, has to tell you. So listen. The coming eclipses in March will catalyze more changes in your Pisces and Libra zones. The Libra is going to be a big deal later this year. If you have your natal chart, check out what's there. Also, eclipse is a great time to get a personal reading. Remember, she's here on Saturdays. You have to make an appointment with her because she needs all your info, okay? So she can create your chart. So intentions and intuition can fly. So come on by. All right. And you can make an appointment with Madame Zalanga on madamezalanga.com. And she will get back to you. Also, the Daily Madam, horoscopes, and more. You're going to want to check that out because she's got some pretty interesting stuff there. So, and it is a full moon. It's time for those intentions. So if you have some things that you want to create, you want to see happening, this is the night that you write them and state them, okay? And remember to start with your gratitudes first, because when you start with gratitudes first, you start to feel that energy just kind of bubble up in you. You start to feel more positive. Looking around your world, see what you're grateful for. That is like the best way to start. And then start your intentions. And remember, when you're doing your intentions, say them, write them as if they're happening right now. Because the universe feels that emotion. You know, she feels it. And not so much the words, but the emotions that are connected to the words. So if you're excited about buying a new car and you want it to be a certain price, you want it to be a certain color, you want it to be blah, 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 make sure you write that out, okay, and state it. Because, you know, we do that here every second Tuesday of the month, the intention circle, and we have seen so many miracles happen through the circle, you know. So write them out. If you haven't got an idea, like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about, these intentions and stuff like that, we have examples of them. They're on the events page on Facebook for Again Girls Radio tonight. And there are some there that they're my personal intentions. So you can get an idea of what they are. And I always intend, this is my favorite one, is I intend, and I am so grateful that my heart is opened and I'm aligned with the energy of love. Yeah. So, and remember, love is, it's not just one thing, it's many things. Okay? Okay. So assist with changing your life. You're the creator. You're the writer. You know, and this year is about that groundwork. So create that foundation that you want for years to come. This is the year to do it. So if you've been thinking of an idea, if you've been thinking of something that you want to do, look into it. Figure it out. Create that great foundation, that really strong foundation so that you can move forward. All right. Remember, some intentions come like within a couple of days, some of them a couple weeks, some of them a month, 2 months, 6 months. If you've got long-term intentions, remember, those may only come about with you being focused, present, and maybe even having to meet some people along the way. Okay? Okay. So that's what this full moon is about. And every full moon, too, is to bring that energy in so it can flow through you and out of you so that you can create your life how you want it. Because everyone has the power to do it. So stop making excuses and rock on with your bad selves. All right? Do it. Yes. All right. Okay. That's why we do intentions and gratitudes. And like for the Gang of Girls Radio, I kept intending to be able to reach more people, to be able to talk to more people and hear from more people. And I was offered the show. You know, Todd Bates offered me a show. And I was like, I've never done a radio show before. He's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. That was 3 years ago. So we're 3 years old. Yay. We're almost past toddlerhood. All right. So, and every week is more awesome and awesome. All right. So I wanted to share with you something I saw on CNN because, you know, I like CNN. It's the gossip column. That's what I call it. There was a little girl who was very creative. She's 10 years old and her name is Ife Ufele. I think that's how you say her name. And she created her own fashion line. And she did it because, you know, she was kind of being bullied because she is a little girl and she hasn't stretched yet. So she even designed some plus size clothing as well. And she's got these awesome models. And here she is dressing them, you know, in New York, Fashion Week. So she is awesome. What an awesome little girl. And she started out by making doll clothes. And now she has her own clothing line. She's 10 years old. Hey, look at that. How creative is that, right? Iffy Ufele. And you can find her on CNN. Just scroll down to the bottom. That's where the best, the best stories are. Okay? Okay. So I got a couple of announcements to make before we bring Cinnamon on. And there was a person that came in the other day to Elevated Delights, and she was like, well, I want to learn about my intuition and mediumship stuff, and I want to know what's going on here and why I should take your classes. Well, I told her, I said, look, if you want to learn more about your inner core, your intuition, inner guidance, and all that, the classes can assist you with that. And it's always good to take classes. And we always tell people, test drive us, because you can come into the free Tuesdays at 7 o'clock and you can meet us. We're nice. We're fun. And then you can decide whether you want to take our classes. That's one of the reasons why we have free Tuesdays, is so you can come in and meet us. The other reason why is because free Tuesdays assist with the community. So we're bringing the community into unity by offering these free classes for people. We do take love donations. So we've got a nice little pretty red basket. You can throw those in. But all of our classes, the rest of our classes are paid classes, and they're from the girls. If you're in the chat room, you'll see their pictures in the chat room. And we have on Tuesday the Akashic Share. So all of you people that have taken the Akashic Records classes and you need practice, come in on Tuesday night. Heather is going to be there. She's hosting that free Tuesday. And you can meet Heather. She's our Reiki Master teacher here. And she also offers Reiki sessions. So that way you kill two birds with one stone, right? Yeah. Or, well, make them live. Let them fly. You let two birds fly. All right? So you get to see Heather, talk to her, and also find out what she knows about the Akashic Records. All right? Because she's pretty awesome, Reiki little lady there. And then we have Lovecraft with Angel. She's going to be teaching the Lovecraft workshop on Saturday. And you're going to be making love boxes. So check that out. Make sure you RSVP, because she has to buy the boxes and all the supplies and that, okay? We are coming up to March, and I'm going to be teaching Clarity 101 again. That is our intuition class. It is an awesome intuition class, and you're going to learn how to do a lot of things because it's experiential. So you will be experiencing all of this. I actually walk you through everything. Okay. So we also accept for that class students through Skype, and it works pretty good. So if you are going to be a Skype student, please email me at agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com so that I can hook you up with that, okay? Lucy is going to be doing her life mapping, her life mapping classes in March. There's 3 classes, and they're going to be on Saturday. So you're going to want to sign up for that. She has to get books for it. And she goes through a lot of things, including your chart. So you're going to want to check that out, especially if you're wondering, like, what the heck? What's going on with me? Because, like, I was doing that last year, and she did give me an astrology reading for the end of last year and the beginning of this year, and now I have a life map. So I know when things are going to be happening and when to just chill out and do something else. So I'm not always worried about what's coming up or what's going to happen. Okay. I really liked it. She is very eloquent, and she is a great teacher. So you're going to want to check that out. Okay. Exploring Tarot with Angel. She's going to be going through the major arcana for 6 weeks. You're going to want to RSVP for that one too. I believe that Angel will have supplies and stuff like that for that too. So if you're wondering about tarot cards and how to read them, you can do a reading with the Major Arcana. So you might want to connect with her and sign up for that class. Now, we also have the automatic writing class the first, third, and fifth Saturday of the month. The automatic writing class is a meditation, and during the meditation, you're guided to connect with 3 different guides or angels to assist you, and you are able to write down messages from them. I give you 5 to 7 minutes for writing. Okay? So if you're interested in connecting with your guides and angels, you may want to take that class. Yeah. All right. So in March, also, the Body, Mind, Spirit event is going to be happening. So anyone in the Chicagoland area is going to want to check that out. It's at the Midwest Conference Center. So you're going to want to go to bodymindspiritevent.com. I feel like that's it. And check it out. A lot of the people that we interview here on A Gang of Girls Radio are going to be at the Body, Mind, Spirit event. So you're going to want to check them out. They have free stuff going on, free workshops. There's also paid workshops in that. And there's also tons of vendors there, tons of readers, tons of people there to assist you. So you're going to want to go and check that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be there, and I will be there, and I'll be having little coupons and stuff like that. So if you find me, then you get a coupon. Okay? I will be there on Sunday. I'll be doing my walkthrough. So, and Anissa will be with me. She's going to be helping me out. So if you see us, come by. We'll hand you a coupon. Hey, we love coupons. Yeah. So that's the news for tonight. And I just want to say that we still are taking love stories. We had a beautiful love story last week. And I read it again this week, and I was like, oh, I love this story. So send in your love stories, because it's still February. It's still Love Month, and we are sharing them. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to be giving away for that love story. So you may want to send it in, because I love surprises and I love giving things. So you want to check that out too. Okay? Okay. If you hear of a hero that you would like us to know about and share that story with too, please do send it to agangofgirls@gmail.com. And I would love to read that out for our audience, because we need that kind of news. All right? We do. And if you will be so kind as to retweet the All Lives Matter tweet on A Gang of Girls or Ariel Grace on Twitter, I'd appreciate it very much. All lives matter. They do. You know, everybody matters. And if we can get that around and about, that would be really awesome. Because, you know, maybe there's some people that aren't ready for that, but maybe they could be ready for it if we push that energy around a little bit. Gently, gently, gently. Yeah? Yeah. All right. So we've got this lovely woman coming up. Her name is Cinnamon Mancini, and she is a spiritualist, medium, psychic counselor, and teacher of intuitive arts. She's had the good fortune to travel across the U.S. and Europe on behalf of Spirit, bringing messages of hope, love, inspiration, and healing to those in need. So she was psychic from birth, and she experienced a major stroke, which propelled Cinnamon to accept her role as an ambassador of Spirit. At the direction of her guides, and after years of physical recovery and spiritual unfoldment, Cinnamon has carved her path as an evidential medium. And this is a lady that we get to talk about and talk to tonight. So you're going to want to hop, skip, jump right on over to chat at 247thestream.com and jump in there. You can sign in through Facebook. You can be a guest. And that way you can ask questions. You can ask her questions. We'll get the questions and we'll relate them to her so she can answer them for you. If you have questions about mediumship or your guides or angels, what's her advice? How can she help you? You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream.
Looking for help with your money? Maybe you're a new business, not sure where to begin with your accounting issues. Instead of taking chances with the IRS, why not come to us? Anderson Accounting offers tax solutions for your business, whether big or small, new or established. Let us help you with your accounting and tax needs. We give fresh ideas and outside-the-box solutions for all your accounting problems. Give us a call, 630-229-9884, or visit our website at andersonaccountingco.com. Helping companies reach their potential through careful planning, prompt service, and years of expertise. We are the solution. andersonaccountingco.com, 630-229-9884. You need to quit smoking. You need the latest products and e-liquid. You need Delectable Vapors. Located just off Main Street in St. Charles, Delectable Vapors is family owned and operated and cares about your individual needs, not making a fast buck. Come visit Mike, Danny, and Jill at 504 East Main Street in St. Charles and see for yourself. Delectable Vapors carries top e-liquid brands like Cutwood, Five Ponds, High Seas, and Sick Boy. They even have their own premium juice line. Sit back and enjoy their awesome tasting lounge filled with new flavors, fully stocked and ready to serve your vaping needs. Delectable Vapors carries all the hardware and e-liquid you could ever need. Did I mention their top-notch customer service? Delectable Vapors in St. Charles, just off Main Street, or always online at delectablevapors.com. You need to quit smoking. Come see us and let's kick some ash. Ask yourself, when was the last time I took a vacation? It's been a while, hasn't it? If you're looking for a well-deserved, peaceful getaway, then look no further than Vacation Home Renters Whitetail Lodge. Let the professionals at vacationhomerenter.com help you with the vacation spot of your dreams, the Whitetail Lodge. This clean, cozy, and gorgeous cabin is a spacious 3,100 square foot, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath that is perfect for large families or entertaining friends. Did I mention it comes with an outdoor hot tub? Relax with modern luxuries like central air, wood-burning fireplace, Wi-Fi, enormous covered deck, and flat-screen TVs in every room. Just minutes from Terry Peak Ski Area and other popular attractions like Mount Rushmore and Custer State Park. Don't wait another minute to book the Whitetail Lodge and stay in the vacation home you're looking for. Visit online at vacationhomerenter.com and select the beautiful Whitetail Lodge. 24.7 The Stream. 247thestream.com.
23 past the hour. I'm your host, Ariel Grace. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream. And we have with us tonight a very awesome lady. So her energy is like very nice. So I want to introduce you all to Cinnamon Mancini.
Well, hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've got lots of questions for you. Very nosy. So
I'm excited to talk about anything that has to do with spirit.
Well, we do have. That's what we do. We talk about spirit. We talk about intuition and that. And I want to know, like, what was it like being a child psychic? You had your gifts before your stroke, correct?
I did. And I think I was probably that pain in the neck kid that asked too many questions all the time to parents and teachers and everyone. And I think that a lot of us out there maybe had that still small voice, and maybe some people out there do still have that still small voice that kind of is that voice of reason, that higher self. And certainly I always had that when I was younger. And a little bit self-centeredly, I thought everyone else had the same thing. I didn't know that it was much different than anyone else. Certainly that I could hear it as clearly as I did. And I think that maybe growing up, a lot of people would look at me. I remember hearing this a lot. They'd say, you know, Cinnamon, you're like a cat. You have 9 lives. You always land on your feet. And I would say that if I listened to that voice, whether it was I was riding my bike home from school and I just had that nudge to take a little different route,
right?
Or if I had a test, a pop quiz, and I just kind of intuitively knew to get up and study a little bit before school, so I'd be kind of prepared for it.
Right.
I just kind of always listened to it. And I noticed that if I listened to it, things seemed to go pretty smooth. And if I didn't listen to it, because it'd be easy not to listen to, because it really is kind of quiet and small, and things maybe didn't go very easily. But as soon as I would listen to it again, it would get me right back on track. And I think I just always relied on that, whereas maybe others of us maybe don't, or they
right.
have it, we have it, and we don't quite always listen to it. But certainly for me, I listen to it more times than not. And it wasn't until later in life that I learned how to use what I knew from spirit for myself and share that with others.
So I also had a similar experience as you did. Now, when did you realize, like, was it a moment in your life that you realized, oh, wow, you know, people, we're all different, and these people aren't hearing the same things as I am?
Well, it kind of didn't quite happen like that. So a little bit of background.
Okay.
I grew up with my dad as a single parent, and I grew up in a neighborhood with a bunch of boys. And my dad was a scientist and an atheist. And so I didn't grow up with religion. And I really didn't grow up with a woman's influence in the house. Mm-hmm. And so I spent a lot of my life very physically active, very much achieving. I had plans. At 18, I joined the United States Marine Corps. Then I served until just after the Iraq War. I was in during that time. Fortunately, did not go over. But I was in the service at that time. So I was very oriented, very task-oriented at the age of 32. So I had inklings all along that there was something with that voice that I needed to look into. And I think I had 4 children in 5 years in my 20s. And I would say that it probably really opened up at that time, only because I'd have visitations from people's loved ones that had passed away, and that was very real and very clear for me during that time. But that scientist, that atheist, that upbringing, the childhood upbringing,
right,
said, you don't mess with stuff like that. That's something crazy. That's something, you just don't mess with it. And so I pushed it down and I stuffed it down for as long as I could, until at the age of 32, I was in nursing school working on my BSN, as getting ready to start my senior year, and using that BSN to apply to medical school, and I had a stroke. And it took my right side. It took my cognition. And physically, if you lose your right side, the part of your brain that's dead or has died is the left brain. And the left brain is the cognitive space where we think things through in a physical manner.
Right.
And so my blessing was that I spent about 3 years learning over again how to cognate, how to understand what toothpaste is for, that it's used to brush your teeth, and then why do you have to brush your teeth, and you have children, and what does it mean to have children, and really working through all that. So it meant that it kind of forced me into my right brain, which is where we communicate with spirit. That's the space that spirit communication happens. And there was a very loud voice when I was in the hospital, when I first, just hours after I was taken from my home to the hospital, and I heard a very strong voice, this time not quiet and still, but very strong and very directive, that said, if you don't do what you came here to do, there's no point in you being here.
Wow.
And that resonated.
That
very
gave me the
strongly
shivers.
I had 4 small children.
Right.
And with the oldest being 10 and the youngest being 6. And so I very much wanted to live. So I said, well, I guess I'm just going to face this fear and look at this. And honestly, it was listening to that still small voice that helped me heal from the stroke and helped me kind of understand what it was that it was about, what that voice was about, and how I was meant to help others by listening to it.
So, okay, so you had 4 small children, you had a stroke, and you had to relearn. What they did was break you so that you could redo yourself. You could restructure yourself in a more flexible way.
Yeah, I thought I only had to do that in boot camp, but apparently
Right.
I had a second go around with that.
You had physical boot camp, and they said, okay, you did good.
Yeah,
now you
boot
get
camp.
spiritual boot camp. All right, flump.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so what happened though? You started listening and you started rebuilding and was it that you just said, okay, so how do I do this? Why do I do this?
No, well, you have to understand, in the state mentally that I was in, that would have been impossible because I could not cognate those thoughts. I could only live my truth authentically because I didn't have the ability to say, okay, what is this? What does this mean for me? It was only follow this voice because this voice is healing me. And a favorite story I love to tell is that, you know, it kind of went a little bit like this, especially in the first couple months after the stroke. I spent a lot of time sleeping, probably slept 23 and a half hours a day for the first 30 plus days.
Right.
And then the voice said, you need to make it your goal to get to the mailbox. And now, granted, I didn't have my right side. And it's not that I couldn't walk altogether. It's that it was difficult.
Right.
So I'd maybe get out of bed. Maybe the first day I would get out of bed. I'd feel inspired to start working on that goal that Spirit had laid out before me. And again, I'm not thinking this through in a cognitive way. I'm just inspired to get up out of bed and make it to the doorway. And so I get up out of bed, I make it to the doorway, and that's about as much as my brain can handle because it's almost like system overload for the left brain because you're learning to rework wires there. So perhaps I just lay on the ground and take a nap for about an hour and then get up and make my way back to the bed, be inspired to make my way back to the bed. And it was just step by step, inspiration from Spirit after inspiration by Spirit, until maybe about a month and a half later, I made it to the end of our driveway. And again, it was like any other day. I was inspired to get up and go to the driveway. And at that point, I had worked it enough that I could physically get there. And now our driveway is about 1/10 of a mile down the road, and it was dirt, and it kind of rolled up to a hill. And I got to the top, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, at that point, I'm cognating, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get back to the house? Because I didn't have that ability to think things through. And lo and behold, here comes my mom, unexpected, coming up over the hills. I catch a glimpse of the car, and she pulls right up to the mailbox, and she says, well, sweetie, what are you doing here? I was laying down on the ground by the mailbox. And so I got up in the car, and she took me to the house. And I know that Spirit inspired her to come and take a visit so that I would, I could get back to the house safely. And that's kind of how the healing process went. I mean, there were a lot of other things involved with diet, changing my diet, different types of foods and things to eat, different doctors that I had the chance to speak with that probably spoke with a physician at UCLA about, it's escaping my mind now, the disease that people have when their whole neurosystem goes on failure and they get like very tired I can't think of the name of it now. But nevertheless, he suggested that I go on a high-protein diet to kind of help rebuild the myelin sheath around the nerves.
Right.
And so I did it. And whatever Spirit kind of said to do, whatever I was inspired by Spirit to do, I did. And that included each and every step of the way, from the point of healing physically to finding an earthly teacher to moving from Los Angeles to the East Coast here in Virginia Beach to starting the center. It's never a thinking process. It's a inspire and then fulfill the wishes of Spirit.
Wow. That is that's so awesome.
I got a little lucky with that stroke, huh?
Well, because peeps want to think it through. They want to, sometimes when they're thinking it through, something inside of them goes,
right.
And then they'll stop and they'll go, wait, well, maybe I should wait. Maybe I'll wait for a couple more years or something like that, instead of just following Spirit, inner guidance, that little voice within them that's there for their highest good, that's showing them the way,
Absolutely. And the thing that I like to say is that in my day-to-day life, I don't think about jet fuel. I just don't think about it. I don't think about how airplanes get filled with jet fuel. I don't think about asteroids rolling around the universe. Just some things that just never enter my mind, I don't think about. I like to think that if something comes into my mind to look at or to process, there's a reason for it. It's not that Cinnamon Mancini necessarily had the idea, and I think sometimes people get confused when Spirit communication is happening,
right?
Because they think, I thought about my grandmother today. No, your grandmother is around you, and the way your brain works is it perceives the energy.
Yes.
And so your grandmother is with you.
Right.
But that's how the brain works. Like I said, if you're thinking about grandma, there's a reason for it. I don't think about things that there's not a reason or a purpose for. And part of meditation, and I would consider myself a little bit of an expert with this, because I had the luxury of having my left brain deadened to the point that it had to be rebuilt. I don't necessarily believe that meditation is quieting the mind. In my perspective, meditation is observing where the mind goes.
Yes, I believe that too. I totally believe that too. Yes.
Yeah. So spirit world is a very fast vibration. It's constantly moving. And when you connect in with that energy, it's very vibrant, very quick. It is not soft. It is in the sense of nothingness. It is not quiet in the sense of empty space. It is the exact opposite. And I think that's another misnomer about a connection with the spirit world. A connection with the spirit world should be quick. It should be vibrant. It should be alive. It should be fast. It should be uplifting and inspirational and all those wondrous,
yeah.
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 Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I feel that too. So, and do you ever ask Spirit, well, okay, I'll do this, but why? Or is the cognitive part of you just follow? Because there are some
whys to Spirit. No, I pretty much I was a good Marine in the Marine Corps,
right?
And I'm a good listener of Spirit.
Okay.
I just basically do what I'm told. My whys more are about why things happen, why bad things happen to good people. What is the learning lesson? What is the point of this particular client or this particular person having this experience? What is the point of our nation? What is the point of what's going on locally in my city? Those are more my whys. And those are the questions I'm more interested in dialoguing, more of the philosophy of life and living. I like to think that, talking with our guides is a much higher vibration.
Yes.
Than speaking with our loved ones who have recently passed. And I'm not saying that our loved ones that have recently passed can't quicken up to that vibratory level. I'm sure that can happen. But in my experience, when I found an earthly teacher to help me learn how to take what I already had and what I already knew and put it into a format that could help grieving parents and individuals who were grieving, I didn't have a challenge with that. The challenge wasn't in the depth of the work. It was more in the mechanics of the work, meaning, are you male? Are you female? Are you a friend of your family? Give me a month of significance. Give me a date of significance. I'll take a phone number too if you want to give that.
Yeah. Well, I'm in alignment with that. I align with you on the whole. I prefer to speak to spirit guides and angels or hear what they have to say, rather than having to deal or talk with those who have departed, because I feel like you're right, the vibrancy of it is awesome. But I also feel like those that have departed, sometimes there can be like a healing that can happen. So that is also something that is useful, that is very like some people will just completely come out of a depression or something. Although that is not my specialty. I do believe that speaking to your spirit guides and angels and getting to know them, like that is, that's like ultimately awesome.
For sure. Let me clarify something. For myself, my connection is with my guides. When I sit with other people, it's mostly with their loved ones that have passed away. That is, the majority of the service probably that I provide, at least initially. And so, and a lot of intensity with those particular clients, parents that have lost children, spouses that have had a spouse pass away. I'm fortunate enough being a former military person and living in a military town. I've been of service for some of our finest military members and their widows.
Yes.
So definitely there is a place with evidential mediumship. And I hear what you're saying about the healing, because this is the thing. What I try to explain to people is that I must first prove the continuity of life. In every sitting, the continuity of life must be proven, because then and only then can the person you're sitting across from truly take into their heart what it is their loved one's saying. And you're absolutely 100% on with that. That's when the miraculous healing happens. Yes. Yeah, I think that's just what so a majority of my work is just that. Some people then later, I think that I really don't advertise really at all. And it's just strictly word of mouth. And I rather like it that way, because I believe that spirit picks the medium.
Right.
Spirit picks the medium in their modality and the way that they work, and they get their loved one to the medium for the sitting. And
right.
So
I do too. Mm-hmm. Yes.
If that's the truth, then you can never, like people say, well, what happens if I come see you? What happens if my loved one doesn't show up? And in my mind, I say, well, that's never happened. That it doesn't happen because spirit set it up. So why would they not show up?
That's right. That's so. This
right?
is Cinnamon Mancini. Is everybody listening? Well, I think that is cool, because I feel like peeps are led to those people that can assist them for their highest good. I really do. I feel like that is what happens. And wow, That's so cool. So this is going to be a very more awesome conversation as we move on in that. And if you are out in internet land and you have a question for what Cinnamon does, please do go to chat. You can go to chat at 247thestream.com, and you can sign in through Facebook. You can sign in as a guest. You know, if you don't want to be yourself, you don't have to be. It's okay. You can be somebody else. And because we're going to be talking about Cinnamon Sinner, and we're also going to be talking about, you know, what's she talking about anyway, this whole evidential mediumship stuff. Who knows what that is, you know? So she's going to be able to explain to us what that is and how that assists people, because that does assist people. There are more evidential mediums coming out and assisting now these days. And some people are just like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. So she's going to be able to help us understand that. And we're going to be talking more to her about what it's like. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream.
We guarantee we won't play any other show until the previous one ends. 24.7 The Stream. Naperville. 247thestream.com. You need to quit smoking. You need the latest products and e-liquid. You need Delectable Vapors. Located just off Main Street in St. Charles, Delectable Vapors is family owned and operated and cares about your individual needs, not making a fast buck. Come visit Mike, Danny, and Jill at 504 East Main Street in St. Charles and see for yourself. Delectable Vapors carries top e-liquid brands like Cutwood, Five Ponds, High Seas, and Sick Boy. They even have their own premium juice line. Sit back and enjoy their awesome tasting lounge filled with new flavors, fully stocked and ready to serve your vaping needs. Delectable Vapors carries all the hardware and e-liquid you could ever need. Did I mention their top-notch customer service? Delectable Vapors in St. Charles, just off Main Street, or always online at delectablevapors.com. You need to quit smoking. Come see us and let's kick some ash. That's the sound of a classmate receiving an attachment of you posing in your underwear. Your ex-boyfriend forwarding this picture to his friends. It being sent to your coach. And worst of all, your dad. All because of the time that you posted those pictures on your profile. Anything you post online, anyone can see. So think before you post. For more information, visit cybertipline.com.
Have you heard about that crazy rap thing? There are millions of blogs on today's internet, but only Rita's crazyrapthing.com can truly help empower you to be healthy and confident about how you look and feel right now. Independent distributor Rita Doman is someone who has always struggled with her weight and health, but made the decision to start living and not worry about her weight any longer. Visit Rita's crazyrapthing.com and follow Rita's daily empowering blogs for tips on keeping you looking and feeling confident about yourself no matter what. You are worth it. You deserve to be treated with respect. Be empowered with confidence now and visit Rita's crazyrapthing.com and let yourself off the hook. Know that you are good enough no matter how you look or feel. Girl, don't just sit there and think about it. Visit Rita's crazyrapthing.com and make peace with your past. Go from this
doesn't look good,
to this.
Don't you look cute today?
Rita's crazyrapthing.com.
Every time you turn us on, there's another hit show coming on.
Awesome.
247thestream.com.
.48 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream. I'm your host tonight, Ariel Grace, and we're talking to an awesome lady named Cinnamon Mancini. And yeah, it's so cool to hear the different stories that everyone has, their different experiences, and how they came to be who they are. So it's just, it's really awesome. But you started a center. It's called Progressive Movement, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And so, when were you inspired to do that?
Well, it'll be 5 years in August that the center has been standing, and you know, it's interesting how these things kind of come around. At that time, I had been, so what would that be? This is 2016, so maybe 2011. Mm-hmm. I had been visiting, spending a lot of summers in Lilydale. I don't know if some of your listeners have heard of Lilydale. It's a spiritualist community in Western New York. Mm-hmm. And they have camps all summer long where you can go and learn about mediumship, and it's a really great place to be. And so I took my 4 children out there as they were growing up. We spent many summers. I want to say when we moved to Virginia Beach, pretty much every summer, except for the last summer, we spent, if not all of those 3 months there, then a majority of them. But nevertheless, I was out there, and I made a friend named Linda DeJesus, and she had a center in Massachusetts, and I believe her center was the Fox Sisters. Okay. And she was inviting a couple over from Wales to teach a kind of a weekend workshop at her place. And she said, "Hey, Cinnamon, what do you think? Do you think that you would like to host this couple?" And I had just put down rent money to rent a physical space. And the couple years before that, I would just, rent a space here or there for sittings or do them out of my house. And so I had just gotten this space, but it wasn't really done yet. It's upstairs in a chiropractor's office, and I think they kind of used it for storage. They didn't have baseboards, and the carpet was old, and there were holes and things in the walls, and just repairs that had to be done.
Yes.
And it couldn't get everything done by the time this couple was coming out, but something said, go ahead, put this together, have them come out. And so we did. So I just kind of let some of my clients know, anybody that was interested in learning about mediumship and what that was all about, to come take this weekend class with the couple. And I did rent a space at the local hotel here, and we did it there. And it really was a nice event. I learned a lot on a business aspect because I lost everything on a business aspect and paid some money out of my own pocket. But that wasn't the point. The point is that it was the start. And the 12 people that attended that workshop were more excited about the spirit world and the potentials and possibilities with a connection to the spirit world. And that was it. I was hooked.
You were hooked, huh?
So that really fueled me to get the center up and running very quickly. And from there on, I was fortunate enough that I didn't know the couple that I started with, but then what I did is my earthly teachers I invited to come out and teach weekend workshops. And of course, they're all but, no, 2 and 2. 2 are from Europe, and then 2 are stateside. And of the 4 that I would consider teacher, 3 of them came to the center to teach.
Wow. And
and we had mediums out there working. They're out there working now professionally doing the work.
So, and the center it's the Center for Progressive Movement, and it's in Virginia Beach, right?
Correct.
So by the way, I love Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is probably one of my favorite beaches.
Do you? Love it here?
Yes,
yeah.
I do. I love Virginia Beach. And so now at your center, so you teach mediumship. Do you teach mediumship, or do you have others come in to teach mediumship?
No. So things have changed a little bit. So we had a group that went out, and they're out there doing the work. A couple of them one person is doing the work more on a national level. I know of one that's doing it more like East Coast wise. Then there's one that's kind of done a little bit of work on television / radio. So another is starting to do some expos in the area. So they all kind of came and stayed for a block of time. But I'll tell you, I kind of had to, let me rephrase that. Spirit had to sit down and have a little chat with me and say, yeah, you know what, Cinnamon? You're really close. You're really close to doing what it is we want you to do, but you're just a little bit off the mark, kind of like that radio dial. We need to get you dialed in. And they sat down with me, and this was after months of kind of them getting my attention, and you know how things happen kind of in the world, and maybe people say things and do things and you feel not good about things, and you just kind of, it's a difficult time. And so trying to really understand what it's all about. And then I finally got it. And they said, you know, you're teaching mediumship the way humans teach mediumship. You didn't learn mediumship from humans. You learned it from spirit. You need to be teaching the way you learned it from us. Yes. Which is helping people to go to spirit world, to help them have a connection with their guides and their loved ones in a way that's meaningful for them so that they can have a fulfilling life. Right. Not necessarily so they can take it out as a profession. Right. That was your mistake. You were a bit disingenuous in that way, but we want you to move into your more authentic state, which is how you learned to come to the work, which is from us, and this is the way we would like you to teach. And so today, and for a time period of who knows how long, maybe 5 years, maybe 2 years, maybe 10 years, I don't know, until Spirit says change it up. For now, that's the way we're kind of doing things.
That I believe, too, is that a lot of people that are learning intuition and mediumship skills are learning it for their own selves, like to better themselves, to make their lives better. And
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's happening here, too, at our center, is that a lot of people that do take the classes are taking them so that they can learn how it works, you know? And I think when I see that, it's like, oh, wow, this is cool, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, getting back to your authentic. Now, do you, as we're talking about this and stuff, I was just having a class on contracts and agreements, and that with our intuition mediumship class. Now, do you feel like when your guides come in and say, hey, look, can we change it up? This is what we feel like. This is how we feel it should be authentically. Do you feel like you agreed to do this before you came into this life, and then you're just at starting point, or
Ariel, you give me way too much credit for thinking too much.
Well, I know. Well, see, this is how because see, I have to know, because I'm very I'm very like nosy about things like this. I just want to know, like, I feel like you're talking about your guides and you're working with them and that. So when they say something like, let's get back to your authentic teaching, do you feel that rush of energy that is like the best thing in the whole world? Or do you feel like, oh, God?
I feel like, let's get to it. You're absolutely right. What was I thinking? Right. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. Thank you for giving me the download. I hear what you're saying. Let's get to it. And the proof is in the pudding. Because if you can go, since Spirit kind of got my attention about teaching this way, we've gone to Ohio, where we've taught a half day at that workshop with parents who've lost children, a group of compassionate friends, some of them are from compassionate friends, to where you sit down and take them through a guided meditation, and they have a meaningful connection with their loved ones in spirit. And this is the thing. If you're dealing with an intelligent source, they have the ability to say, I'm going to give you proof that it was me, because I'm going to give you something that will come up in the next couple hours, in the next half day, in the next day, that will let you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was a true connection. Although they feel it anyway, right. It gives their left brain that permission. Because, you see, this is the interesting thing that I found about the left brain, is that if you work with the right brain enough and the right brain receives from spirit and has positive results, eventually the left brain, the ego, the left brain will say, yeah, listen to the right brain.
Right.
You get rewarded when you listen to the right brain.
Right.
Right? And so then that becomes kind of that cycle that continues on, and you just get stronger with your connection, your right brain, your left brain supports it more so, and so on and so forth. So we've had success going into Ohio. We had success in Salisbury, Maryland, invited to come back to Salisbury, Maryland, just had success in Phoenix, Arizona. And these are not long workshops. It's not like you have to build up a lot of energy to let spirit come in. Cinnamon Mancini just has to do what she's told to do, which is what her guides tell her to do. The people who come to the class just have to listen when they're guided to come to the class, and a meaningful interaction happens in a way that can be validated and proven. And that's it. And that's the proof that's in the pudding when you listen to spirit.
That's so freaking awesome.
Right?
Yeah, so...
Right? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, you're dealing with an infinite intelligence here. They know what they're doing. We just have to get out of our own way and just be good listeners. Give up the idea that there's such a thing as control.
Right.
That's the biggest filmer.
And we're gonna come back and we're gonna find out more about Cinnamon Mancini. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7.
And now an important message from one of our favorite listeners, Christopher Fisher.
Hello, this is Christopher Fisher. I'm listening to WHVR Digital Radio Live. The sound is great. It's going strong. Love you all.
We love you too, Christopher, and keep listening to WHVR Digital Broadcasting. 24.7 The Stream is proud to recognize official sponsor Sarpino's Pizzeria, right here in Naperville. Serving the Naperville community for many years, Sarpino's features a fantastic menu and offers you a 5-star gourmet experience guaranteed. You won't find a more diverse menu of succulent appetizers, fresh salads, custom sandwiches, entrees, or tasty desserts at any other pizzeria in the area. Conveniently located at 1567 North Aurora Road in Naperville, Sarpino's is open all 365 days, offering free delivery and open late nights on Friday and Saturday until 3 a.m. For excellent products, exceptional service every time. Visit Sarpino's in Naperville or order online at gosarpinos.com. The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. It's time we switch to longer-lasting Energy Star light bulbs. They're more efficient than old light bulbs, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. And they cut down on our energy costs. Because in our own groundbreaking age, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council. Keep your online visitors engaged with Rumble Talk Chat Service. With over 2 million chatters on over 200,000 websites, Rumble Talk is a proven professional chat room service. With an easy-to-install Rumble Talk chat room, you can share rich media, chat on the go from your mobile phone or tablet, integrate on popular social media pages, blogs, mobile apps, and websites. Add a stylish HTML5 Rumble Talk chat room theme or create your own custom Rumble Talk chat room. Rumble Talk gives you the ability to control any aspect of your chat room's appearance, images, colors, backgrounds, borders and fonts, and overall style. With Rumble Talk's easy account management, you can manage all your Rumble Talk chat rooms from one account. Now that you've found your chat room solution, visit rumbletalk.com for your free 7-day trial today. Your visitors are waiting. Rumble Talk chat service, rumbletalk.com. Grow your business. At Signorama of Naperville, we offer customized solutions for signs, branding, marketing, and advertising. We have a full range of custom signs and graphic services to meet your needs, build your brand, and create your image. Look around and you'll see how our specialists help businesses enhance their visibility and get noticed. Let us work with you to understand your unique marketing goals and help you reach them. Call 630-527-0500 to meet with an expert at Signorama Naperville. That's 630-537-0500 or visit us online anytime at Signorama-Naperville.com. Custom solutions, friendly service. Signorama of Naperville, the way to grow your business. Paying too much to host your radio program with others? Tired of trying to figure out complicated software programs? Then let WHVR Digital Broadcasting help you. We offer full program production, engineering, promotion, and training so you can take your program to the next level. Don't have a radio show? No problem. Send us your program idea and we can bring it to life for you. We all have something to say, so why not use our quality service to say it? If you're a serious broadcaster and looking for a top quality outlet for your live program, then call us today at 800-653-1680 extension 3. That's 800-653-1680 extension 3. Or visit WHVRdigital.com for more details. Come join our growing network and see why talk is our business and business is good. WHVR Digital Broadcasting. We're here to serve you. The best variety. Period. 24.7. Our stream. 247stream.com.
The stream. It's 5 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream. I'm your host tonight, Ariel Grace. And this part of our show is sponsored by the Greater Chicagoland Pagan Pride. And they're going to be having their big celebration at Mills Park in Oak Park, Illinois on Sunday, September 18th, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's a family-friendly event. It's fun. And the kids will like it because there's all these people there, and some of them are dressed up. Some of them are very happily dressed up, and it's open to the public with the entrance fee of a non-perishable food item. The day will be filled with vendors, workshops, and entertainment, and we encourage everyone to come out and enjoy the day as we celebrate community. For more information, please visit their website at chicagopaganpride.org or on Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. No matter your spiritual path, please join us. And also, if you're hungry, you should go on in or you should run over to your phone and call Sarpino's in Naperville. They're open late nights until 3 a.m., so you can call and get your hot, fresh, tasty Sarpino's pizza or sandwiches at 630-778-8808. And don't mess with the IRS. Call the pros at Anderson Accounting Company. Don't mess with the IRS, really. Anderson Accounting Company can help you. They help me every year. So it's 630-229-9884. And so we're always open for sponsors, and you can go to the advertising tab and check out how you can be a sponsor of A Gang of Girls Radio. We appreciate it. So we're sitting here having a chat with Cinnamon Mancini. And she has been telling us what it's like to be her and be her authentic self and do her thing. And she is a medium. She had a stroke, and since then she has been guided by her spirit guides, and they've been assisting her through her life. That's so cool that she's been able to do this. So Cinnamon, is there a difference between a medium and an evidential medium?
Okay, so to me, a medium is anyone that acts as a conduit from the spirit world, gets information from the spirit world, and brings it into the physical world. They're standing between the two worlds as a conduit for spirit. That, to me, is the definition of mediumship. But when you say evidential mediumship, to me, what that means, there are many layers in the spirit world. And the way spirit shows it to me is the chakra system. Maybe some of your listeners know the Hindu system, the 7 chakras that are of the physical body. Well, spirit takes that and flips it then, as above, so below, up into the spirit world, with the first step into the spirit world being similar to the red root chakra, which is our loved ones in spirit who have recently transitioned, and or the vibration that a spirit holds or can repeat once they're in the spirit world. And what I mean by that is that certainly some of our loved ones pass away and they kind of float around in that energy that was similar to what they experienced on the physical world, except for A, they don't have the body, and B, they're learning how that a creative process is what fuels their energy in the spirit world, which then goes into the second energy center, and so on and so forth. So when somebody says they're an evidential medium, to me it means medium means they have the ability to connect with the spirit world, all different levels of the spirit world, hopefully. But most specifically, what they're saying to you is they're communicating with your loved ones that have recently passed away. You know, I've got your son, Roger, who passed of a heart attack at 18 on the football field. You know, very specific pieces of information. Our guides, when they come in and give information, that's a higher vibratory rate. It's not going to look like that. But our loved ones who have passed away, they're going to, well, if you think of it like a glass or maybe a car, and when they were here, they drove around a Ford, or let's just say they drove around a Maserati. They're going to step back into that Maserati they drove when they were in the living, because otherwise their loved ones who are still here would not recognize them.
Right.
So if you go to, so that's always the first step. Remember, I said for this medium, proving the continuity of life in an evidential manner. Think Cinnamon Mancini, raised by a scientist and an atheist, zero dogma, only what can we prove. That part is very important to me in the process. And so when I'm saying I'm an evidential medium, when others are saying it, I hope that they're saying the same thing I'm saying, which is, I've got your mom here. She liked to suck on hard candy. When she was getting ready to pass, her mouth was swabbed with a moisture to keep her mouth from getting dry. And so those kind of little bits of detailed information.
Right. And that helps peeps know that you are actually speaking to their loved ones.
Absolutely, because then anything else that loved one says, if at that point they kind of wick out of the Maserati and up into spirit world a little bit higher, they can start to talk about things for their loved ones. And not all of them do this. Some people come to see me and they just want to continuously know, and maybe they make an appointment every 3 months, and mom wants to talk to her daughter. And her daughter is going to come in and talk about all the things that mom has been doing, the things that mom's been thinking at her, just how she's left her messages, and we talk about that for an hour. But a lot of times, too, even in that space, that daughter will wick up out of that car more fully into the spirit that she is, the infinite intelligence that she is, and give direction, guidance, inspiration, love, hope, healing, those things that are of the spirit world and not just selective to the human experience. In a way that it pertains to the loved one that's passed away.
That's really an awesome way of explaining that, because so I use the term as they move through the veils, they're moving through the veils. So yeah, that's pretty cool because, they do, as they move up and that they do resonate higher and they do give that healing energy that everyone is really looking for, they want to feel that goodness. So.
I think so. And I think, and this is the miraculous thing, is that it's truly a different experience for each individual person. Everyone grieves differently, and what they need from the spirit world is just as individual. And you cannot help but trust spirit and give exactly what you're getting because they are infinite intelligence. And not only that, but they've got that link of love back to that loved one, and they're not going to miss a beat. They're going to do whatever they need to do to push that information through the medium in a way that their loved one will understand for optimum healing, period. Right?
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you.
So you just totally trust it all and know that each person is getting exactly what they need for their highest and greatest good. I mean, that's always my prayer. And I ask my clients to, send their invitation into the world of spirit, inviting their loved ones to come in and meet with us. And then ask that they bring in any information that would be for your highest and greatest good.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm not, and that's the miraculousness. Spirit is the miraculousness, and it's a day-to-day thing.
And it is a miracle. And so now, okay, I do have a question about this because there are different, ideas on this. So do you, as a psychic medium, do you feel like that's just another name for medium?
Well, I think maybe in the last year, since I kind of went through all those learning lessons with the center and kind of shifting and changing under the direction of spirit, I think I've shifted a little bit more from a psychic medium to a spiritual medium. I think I much more prefer that. But to me, I can see how, so psychics tune in to human beings. Psychism is a sixth sense. It is a product of the physical world, and it's a gift from our Creator. And honestly, it's going to be psychism, as I see going in the future, people tuning into their psychic sense, that is what's going to change the planet. Meaning, I'm driving down the road and somebody wants to cut in, I tune into them, they're late for work. It's the second time, let them in. So you let them in. You tune into your neighbor that you haven't seen out front for the past week, and you just kind of psychically tune into them, and they've been tending to their sick and elderly significant other. So you go knock on the door and bring some food. That is going to change the planet, in my perspective. I would say that when I'm working as a psychic medium, I don't ever override spirit, ever. However, the psychism part is kind of tuning into my client and feeling those parts of them that are maybe a little jagged, and when I say jagged, I mean they need that healing from their loved one, and just really holding that space within the person for spirit to kind of fill just that spot. And so that is Cinnamon Mancini working at that point psychically to hold that energy for spirit where they need to funnel it for the person.
All right.
So that's, to me, that's psychism. But I'd say these days more so, I just take the hands off the wheel and just let spirit do it all. I mean, they just do it all the right way, so who am I to really step into things? I mean, occasionally it's kind of needed, but I'd say 95% of the time, spirit just does all the heavy lifting.
It's always good to have a heavy lifter around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's always good to, right? Because when we follow spirit and we're listening and we're following our guidance in that, it's so much easier. Life is so much easier than when we're acting like we can't hear. And sometimes I say that. I'm acting like I can't hear you right now, so I'm going to go do this. I think about what you're talking about, but I do feel that, and I do say that a lot, is listen to your guides and angels, because the guides and angels actually have your better and higher good for you, and all that. And when you're following your guides and angels in that, you do feel that euphoria, and it's an awesome feeling. And I'm so grateful that you were able to tell us the different ways of what to you is a psychic medium, what is a medium, and what is an evidential medium, because sometimes we get them mixed up. Or we don't know the differences when we go in to make an appointment. So now we know, and it just clarifies for people who are looking for different things, And I do know some evidential mediums that help out in finding people and help with finding people, because sometimes people go missing or they die or some horrible thing happens to them and nobody knows where they are. So, and do you, we're going to have to ask that question when we come back from our break.
I'll be waiting.
So you want to stay tuned. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7.
This is your radio on other networks. This is your radio on WHVR Digital Broadcasting. Any questions? Consider your life at this moment. Is there anything you'd like to change? Would you like a new job, more money, better health, and a happier love life? Then there's no better moment than now to have a feng shui consultation with Juliette Loyer. As a certified practitioner and teacher, Juliette can help you harmonize the energy of your space to bring about powerful changes in your life. Why not go with the flow? Call 708-254-2894 and book a consult for your home or business. Mention this ad between now and September 21st and receive a 20% discount. Call 708-254-2894 and book your appointment now. Consider your life at this moment and consider feng shui today. The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. It's time we switch to longer-lasting Energy Star light bulbs. They're more efficient than old light bulbs. Like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. And they cut down on our energy costs. Because in our own groundbreaking age, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council. Many of us struggle with health issues or pain of some form or another, yet you can't seem to find the reason why the aching continues. But there's a way to uncover and treat the sources of all your ailments. For the past 20 years, the practitioners at New Life Holistic Health have been helping people find and overcome the root causes of their health trials, rebalance, and restore their energy. Their New Life method combines today's most effective holistic therapies along with the quantum life system biofeedback full body scan, scanning you for over 7,000 health-related issues. This powerful method gives you the answers you've been searching for. Don't wait another day or even another minute to take back control of your health. Call 630-510-3180 or visit newlifeholistic.com for your free consultation. Mention you heard this ad on the stream and receive $25 off your first visit. New Life Holistic Health. newlifeholistic.com. From our studios to the world, here comes more great programming on WHVR Digital Broadcasting.
This dream. 23 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 247thestream.com. And we're having a nice, lively conversation with Cinnamon Mancini. And we were just talking, well, we were on break. We were talking about, psychism and what it is and all this business. And I said, we got to talk about this, some more. And I just got this awesome thing from the chat room. And it says here, you're going to love this. Okay. I tune in to energy. I can read energy clearly. I call it intuition. Wondering if that's what it is called. I don't see spirit easily. I catch glimpses, but I hear messages in my right ear in a past, present, future position. It's weird. I have often wondered what this gift is called.
Sounds like psychism to me.
And we were talking about psychism. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about... Perfect. We were actually talking about missing peeps, and you said you can find missing peeps if they've passed, and I said, well, I found one missing peep in South America, but he was alive, and you said, that's more tapping into psychism.
Right. You're tuning into the human being and where they are and what they're doing. And then we started to talk about if someone is sitting with the reason why it's important to understand psychism. So the question that I heard your listener asking is they're trying to understand intuition. I wish we would take intuition out of the dictionary. It's kind of like karma. Nobody really understands exactly what it means, and it doesn't really pinpoint exactly what we're trying to say. And I like to be more exact. So I would say that when she says that, I feel like psychically, she or he, actually I didn't know if it was male or female, but anyway, is tuning into energy. That's what it is. We all are energy. And psychically, we do it all the time, whether we're aware of it or not. And psychism, if you're looking at the Hindu system, is the third energy center. That is the seat of our psychic power. It's right there at our gut. You can link it with that gut instinct that you have. Mothers will really identify with this, and maybe some of the dads out there too, when they just feel like something's going on with their kid and they're like jumping right in the middle of it. You can't really control it. You just kind of, that something is going on and you want to get into it. That's a little bit more of a heightened sense, but we all do that with each other. That is a stepping stone. Working with psychism, and it's really important to work with psychism first. And understand, because there are people out there who believe that they are working as mediums, but they are really working as psychics. And the way that you can tell is because when you're dealing with infinite intelligence, you are dealing with somebody else's perspective about life and love and living. When you speak with a psychic, when you're sitting across the table from a psychic, they are telling you things you already know about yourself in the way that you mentally process things. So it's not a difficult jump for you to make because they're just mirroring back to you what they sense and feel about you. But that's not mediumship. When you're sitting with a medium, it should look like mom comes in and she gives love not just to you, but to all of her children and to her grandchildren and to the dog that's with her in spirit world and the cat that's still in the living, because that's her perspective of her earthly experience. If you're sitting with someone and they say, well, your mom's here and she wants to give you love and she passed with cancer, well, you already know those things. So they can just feed that right back to you out of your own awareness.
Right.
So it's important that when people are developing, they start with psychism and they see what it feels like to tune into someone else. And let's be clear about this. Because this is a product of the physical world, psychics can only predict past and present, and they can look forward to the future based on potentials and possibilities.
That's right,
with
exactly.
regard to present and past behaviors. So it's not set in stone.
Yes.
So working with that and understanding that modality first. And, really, I believe that psychism is a valuable healing tool because let's be real. We come from a place where we are all connected.
Yes.
There is no individuation. And then we get brave, and our little soul breaks off from the whole of soul and steps into an individual body to have an individual experience. And sometimes that can be very lonely, and sometimes we can feel very isolated, especially if the relationships in our life don't have a level of depth that's meaningful for us. So to sit across from someone who can tell you about yourself and share in your experiences as you see them and as you experience them is a very valuable healing tool, but you must know how you're working in order to be as effective as you can be.
Right. Wow.
So there you are with that.
That's awesome. And everyone, the show will be archived, and I will be posting the show everywhere tomorrow. So if you need to listen to that again to get some clarity on what psychism is and evidential mediumship and mediumship, then please do listen to it again. Okay? Because it's a lot to take in, and I feel like that was a very clear, those were very clear ideas that Cinnamon gave us. So if you need to listen to it again, remember the archive will be up tomorrow. All right. Now, this is something else that I've been wanting so badly. For some reason, I don't know why, but as soon as I saw these two words, I went, "Oh, I got to find out what this is." So, what is a spirit circle?
Okay, so a spirit circle is a group of people, and usually 6 to 8. And when it comes from, okay, so I'm not sure if everybody understands, but mediums come from a religion, and that religion is called spiritualism.
Right.
And spiritualism has always been in Europe, and modern spiritualism started with the Fox sisters, and I want to say in like the 40s.
Yeah.
But you have to do your research on that.
I think it's like late 30s, early 40s. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what they've been doing for years to train mediums, right? Because if in your religion, in your church service, you have a medium get up during the service and give messages to the members of the congregation, you kind of have to have a way to spot the potential mediums, raise up the potential mediums, raise them in a way that they can be of service for their community. And so the spirit circle is a traditional way of, within the religion of spiritualism, of bringing up young mediums to bring out their highest and fullest potential.
Wow.
And then some people call spirit circles. I've seen people say, "Oh, I'm going to do a small spirit circle," where they get usually 6 to 8 and sometimes 10, and people will go and sit with one medium, and one medium will kind of sit in the circle and give everybody messages. They also call that spirit circle, but if you kind of think about what's happening there, is that the energy is being used. Like each individual has energy that kind of batteries the medium.
Yes.
And they take turns in a spirit circle where they're developing, and in a spirit circle where a medium is working. I've heard mediums say that they feel much more powerful, or maybe batterized when they sit with that kind of a group. They feel that they've got much more energy to kind of get where they need to be and do what they need to do, because people naturally bring their own energy.
Right. And the energy just pumps.
Right.
Right. So that's pretty cool. And that would be an awesome way for beginners, for people that are just starting to want to explore and discover what gifts they have.
Well, I think you're absolutely right with that, because look at every medium, every person on the planet has their own set of guides. Not all sets of guides are the same.
Right.
So not every person has the same amount of energy. When you bring beginners together, no matter what the level of capability of their guides are, some people's guides, just think of it like this. if my dad quickly has pulmonary embolism, passes away, didn't get to say goodbye, he's in spirit world. He is going to push with all his might energetically to come down and connect, do all the heavy lifting and connect with the family members to say goodbye.
Right.
Versus if my dad has cancer and he's been sick with it for a couple years, we've all got to spend time with him, taking care of him, having private moments with him, kind of knowing that the end is coming and saying goodbye. Maybe then he kind of comes into spirit world and there's not that urgency for him to say goodbye,
right,
because we kind of spent a couple years saying goodbye.
Yes.
It's the same kind of concept with people's guides. So if you're sitting in a development group and you don't really have that connection with your guides, and it's a nice way to kind of get a bunch of energy together for the right reasons, right?
Right.
Which is always to be of service, because intention is the driver.
Right.
So to be of service, you all kind of come together, which means that, person E isn't worried about the fact that person A is getting more information than person C, and so on and so forth. Everybody's coming together for the right reasons, which is to be in the presence of spirit, to do work for the highest and greatest good. And even if it's not particularly for them, if it's for someone else that evening to kind of have all that energy and kind of get where they need to be, and that's just quite all right too. And it's a great way to build potential and understanding, not just for the individual person, but kind of for the whole group.
That is yes, that would be an awesome thing for, as I said, beginners, because that way it gives them confidence with the information that they're getting. And that also is a good explanation as to why some people that have passed, some family members that have passed, are like, okay, you know what, I need to go in the upper levels for a little while and take a vacay and, speak to my people. And I'll go and say hi to the family every once in a while. But right now I need to take care of myself. Whereas the other ones, who was like a surprise, they were surprised to pass. That's why they would want to push so hard for everybody to know that they're okay.
Right.
Those are good, really awesome explanations, and it's a better understanding as to why the reactions in the different consultations or readings people are getting.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. It's awesome, because that it's very clear. So
those are the whys.
I love. Well, see, my favorite question is why.
Right.
Why did that happen?
Right.
So
that's great.
Okay, so now with you and what you do, what is the difference between coming to get, now I feel like you've already explained this, but I just want to make sure I've covered it all. What is the difference between a reading and a sitting? So
a reading, if you came to see me for a reading, I would read your aura, and I would basically be giving you a psychic reading and maybe helping you to understand yourself. And kind of, sometimes we go through life and we don't really pay attention or self-reflect, and so we can't see as clearly. So if a psychic can step into that vibration that is us and kind of give it back to us, what we already know but maybe aren't exactly clear of, then we can be of service. So it's reading the aura. It's a psychic reading. A sitting is you sit with spirit, and you basically, as a medium, give exactly what you get, what you see, what you feel, what you hear, what you know to be true, what you taste, what you smell.
Oh.
That's all. That's all you do.
Well, still, peeps need to sit and be present sometimes and see, feel, taste, hear. Yeah. It's good for them.
Right.
Now, with you, how long after a loved one has passed how long do they wait, or can they go in like the next day? How long do they have to wait in order to, connect with their loved ones that have passed?
Okay, so the simple answer to that is if spirit picks the medium, then the reading, then the client and the medium meet, then it's the right time, right? Because we talked about that earlier about who picks about spirit picking the medium.
Right.
I will tell you that for myself, as I unfold it, and I've noticed the same with students, it seems that spirit doesn't really just jump in. And what I mean by that is if you're working and unfolding as a medium, I notice that maybe in the beginning you're connecting a client with their grandparents that maybe passed away when they were really young. That they knew some about, and they really heard a lot of stories about, so you get the evidence, but they really didn't know them that well. Then as the medium, maybe you start to get clients who were close with their grandparents, who maybe their grandparents were very influential in their life. And then maybe they connect, maybe then that medium will connect clients with people whose grandparents were like parents. And then maybe the medium, and this is like kind of evolutionary over time and more energetically, and then maybe the medium will connect clients with their parents who they kind of knew one but maybe didn't know the other. You see what I'm saying? So the level of intensity, emotional intensity, is in proportion to the level of the medium to be able to handle that kind of situation, that kind of intense situation.
That kind of intense situation, they would have to be able to feel.
I'm sorry?
So the medium would have to be okay with feeling the feelings.
Yes. Not that they're working psychically, but they kind of are. They kind of are, as far as, because when they're working mediumistically, it's like they're the conduit between the two people. They're the one that's in the middle. And if they don't have the experience to remain focused for spirit, and stay connected with spirit versus dropping down into your psychic center and empathizing with the client, that's not where you want to be. You become a disservice to your client if you have the sign out the door that says you're a medium and you get into a very intense situation. Murders are very, very intense. Parents who've lost children are very intense. Military passings are very intense. Unexpected. There's a lot of intensity out there with regards to people and passings. If you cannot stay as the medium focused with spirit versus coming down as a human being and empathizing with the person, then you might not be ready for that level of intensity.
Right.
So, when it comes to a recent passing, a lot of times those are very, very intense. When I first started, I said 3 to 6 months to allow for the grieving process to kind of settle in. I no longer say that.
Right.
I no longer say that. It can be an hour ago. It could be 15 minutes ago. It can be a day ago. It can be a week ago.
Right, because you have been able to practice enough.
It's about the medium being able to stay focused.
To stay focused,
and handle that level of intensity, in my opinion.
And not internalize.
Correct.
Because I feel like a lot of psychic mediums or mediums internalize a lot, and it starts to get personal, and that's why they kind of have to disconnect from spirit and come back in. So that's very that's really interesting. Wow. That's a good way of putting it, because there are some really awesome mediums, and I've seen them kind of like, kind of pull back a little bit and come back in and go, whoa, too much, because I would do that. Because I'm not that type of medium that speaks to loved ones mostly. Sometimes they run in and say blah, 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 blah.
Sure, of course.
You know,
Of course they would take that opportunity, wouldn't you?
yeah. Sometimes they do. They'll run in and go blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, okay. All right, goodbye. That's what I tell them. So, because I don't want to, it's my choice not to sit with that type of intensity because it is intense. It is very intense. And I feel like I am not practiced in that art as much as others are, like you.
It's a muscle. You work it. You learn how to work it. And sometimes, you know, to me these days when it gets me the most, I kind of don't have that off button. So I could sit in the energy for 10 hours a day. And sometimes when I go to Chicago, I have 4 days of 10-hour days. And so by the time I come home, I'm just a mush of nothingness, of emotional nothingness. And that it's not good. I shouldn't do that. But to me, that's more... it's worked up to that point. It just works up to that point. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And just being aware of what you're capable of doing and really not pushing yourself past that in a way that hurts another person, absolutely, first and foremost. But then you kind of have to take yourself into consideration as well and make sure that you stay in balance.
Right. Yes.
You know, and the best way that I do that, honestly, is exercise. If I know, like, I'm getting ready to come to Chicago, I've got Raleigh the weekend before that, I'm going to exercise like a crazy mad woman, coming up to it, all the way through it, and out the other side of it. And that's kind of my way of staying in balance.
So, and we're going to hear about where Cinnamon's going to be when we come back. Stay tuned. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7.
Depression, anxiety, and insomnia can cause a lot of heartache and stress in a family or group of friends. And those heartaches only multiply when the symptoms are a byproduct of a bigger health concern, like cancer, PTSD, Parkinson's, or drug and alcohol dependency. And in the past, treatments for depression, anxiety, and insomnia were only moderately effective. But now there's a new therapy called Nexalin. Nexalin is a simple medical device that stimulates the midbrain. Nexalin is safe and an effective FDA-cleared drug-free treatment for depression, anxiety, and insomnia with no serious side effects. And Nexalin is proven effective in reducing symptoms in over 80% of patients treated. For information and a free confidential consultation, call 847-865-3216 or visit NexalinRelief.com. That's 847-865-3216 or visit NexalinRelief.com. Looking for help with your money? Maybe you're a new business, not sure where to begin with your accounting issues. Instead of taking chances with the IRS, why not come to us? Anderson Accounting offers tax solutions for your business, whether big or small, new or established. Let us help you with your accounting and tax needs. We give fresh ideas and outside-the-box solutions for all your accounting problems. Give us a call, 630-229-9884, or visit our website at AndersonAccountingCo.com. Helping companies reach their potential through careful planning, prompt service, and years of expertise. We are the solution. AndersonAccountingCo.com, 630-229-9884. 24.7 The Stream is proud to recognize official sponsor Sarpino's Pizzeria, right here in Naperville. Serving the Naperville community for many years, Sarpino's features a fantastic menu and offers you a 5-star gourmet experience guaranteed. You won't find a more diverse menu of succulent appetizers, fresh salads, custom sandwiches, entrees, or tasty desserts at any other pizzeria in the area. Conveniently located at 1567 North Aurora Road in Naperville, Sarpino's is open all 365 days, offering free delivery and open late nights on Friday and Saturday until 3 a.m. For excellent products, exceptional service every time. Visit Sarpino's in Naperville or order online at GoSarpinos.com. 24.7 The Stream. Naperville. 247thestream.com.
The Stream. 48 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on 24/7 The Stream. We are talking to Cinnamon, and we were just on break. She mentioned prayer, and as all of you know, prayer's real big. It's like the big one. So what's your opinion? What do you have to say about prayer, Cinnamon?
You know, I think that it's the most underused gift, maybe, that our Creator gives us. And, you know, I think, and maybe in some respects, if people can understand that prayer and intention kind of goes together. You know, if you're talking to God and you're saying, hey, you know, I just drove by this accident and it looked really bad, you know, please, can you send somebody over there for the highest and greatest good for the people that are affected? Mm-hmm. I think that it reminds you of who you are, what you are anchored into, and kind of what it's about, what you're doing here, and it sets your intention. And even sometimes as a medium, I forget to pray. I mean, when I get on an airplane, I don't usually forget to pray, but you know, yes. Sometimes when prayer could really do me good for my own use, I forget, this is a thing that I can have. I can talk to God and say, hey, I really need help with this.
Right.
Can you really help me out? And certainly when I sit with clients, my prayer is always to God. God, please allow me to be the vessel for spirit so that I may be of service. You know, and it sets the intention to where it just everything feels right. And I think that a reminder to pray for yourself, to pray for others, it's a connection with your source. It's a connection to an energy from where you came. So at the same time, it reminds you of who you are and what it is that you're doing here. And so I think if I could say one thing to anybody out there listening is if you just get yourself a little piece of string or a rubber band, a little rubber band, and put it around your index finger and let that rubber band remind you to pray to God, to say, thank you that I made it to work today without much traffic. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for the beautiful day. Thank you for, you know, the accident that the angels are helping to work on. Whatever it is, that would be my recommendation for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. Appreciation is always good, and saying thank you is always good. That's what, yeah. And connecting to that higher source, connecting to your Creator. Rock on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Cinnamon, which I'm pretty excited about because I'm planning a Wall of Fame, and I'll be at the Body, Mind, Spirit event having pictures taken with the people that I've interviewed. Hopefully I get everybody. But and I'm going to be doing that. One of the things that I'm going to be at the Body, Mind, Spirit event here in Chicago, and she's going to be here too. And you're going to be speaking at the Body, Mind, Spirit event as well, aren't you?
I will. I'll be doing a demonstration of spirit communication, which is basically connecting random audience members to their loved ones in spirit as a way of proving that life continues on. And that will be, I believe that's at 11 a.m. on Sunday until I think I have got like 40 minutes. But if you want private readings, certainly I'll be at the expo all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Yeah.
And that is
that's the 4th and 5th of March.
Okay, thank you for that. 5th and 6th of March.
Oh, 5th and 6th of March. Hey, right, we had that weekend. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then before you're going to be here in Chicago, where are you going to be?
I'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina this upcoming weekend. And normally when I do the Body, Mind, Spirit events, it's on the weekend, so it's all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But I do reserve time in my hotel to see clients who want an hour sitting. I don't do an hour in the expo arena. It's just energetically, it's a little bit more challenging.
Yes.
So I just do 15 minutes and half hours there. And then a lot of times, the next time I come around, well, some of those people then just want to have a private hour in the hotel room. And I want to say I have maybe 3 or 4 time slots left for Chicago and a little bit more for Raleigh. I think I've got like 5 of them, to be honest with you, open in Raleigh, and more on Thursday and less on Friday.
Oh, okay. So you're going to want to get a hold of her. And what's your website called?
So it's my name, Cinnamon, CINNAMON, Mancini, MANCINI.com. And also, you have an events page, correct? I do have an events page that's constantly being updated. So, yeah, have a look at that. You know, Ariel, you didn't ask me about my name.
I know, because I remember the song Cinnamon Girl.
That's right.
I do. I remember the song because when I was a little girl, that was one of the big songs. And when I first saw your name, before reading anything about you, I thought, that's her name. She's named after that song, you know?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And people don't believe it. They don't believe it. They think that I chose it. Well, I probably did choose it. It went through my mom first.
Yeah. Well, I like it. And when I go through to find guests for the show, I always just sit and look at their name for a few moments just to like feel them out and stuff. And I was like, yeah, she's up. And I feel like she'll say yes.
And it did say yes.
Yes. So, but I'm so grateful. And everybody out there in Chicagoland area, hey, go to the Body, Mind, Spirit event. Check out Cinnamon because she's going to be there. You can go up, you can shake her hand, you can say hi to her and get to know her a little bit. See if she's the right fit for you. You know, because you never know what can happen on this crazy world that we live on that is so wondrous. So please do go on over, say hi to her, check out her webpage, cinnamonmancini.com. And if you forget it, don't worry because it's all over the place. I've posted it everywhere. So check her out and see what you think for yourself after you've heard her tonight. Okay? And remember too, like we have ongoing stuff going on here at Elevated Delights. We're going to be, tomorrow night is Akashic Share. And Heather's going to be hosting that. It's at 7:00. It's a free Tuesday event. So come in and meet Heather. And find out about Akashic Records. A lot of people have questions about that, and maybe you might get some answers, because that's what this is about, right? Right. So remember too, we have classes on, we have the Love Workshop, the Lovecraft Workshop on Saturday with Angel. Remember to RSVP because she's got to buy the little supplies and stuff. All right. And we appreciate those RSVPs as well for all other events that we do have because we have to get together things like for when we do our intuition, our Clarity 101 class, we need to know you're coming. So that way we have books ready for you. Okay. Clarity 101 starts in March, the first week of March. So make sure you RSVP for that. We also have the life mapping class with Lucy Zalunga, and she's going to be teaching you about astrology and making life maps for you, answering those questions as to why. Why is a big question. Why did my life do that? Why is my life doing it now? It's written in the stars. So check out Lucy's class, and remember, too, that you can like us on Facebook at A Gang of Girls, Inc., Elevated Delights. You can follow us on Twitter at A Gang of Girls. And, we want to hear from you also. We also want to have at least one more love story to read before the end of the month. So those of you out there that have a love story you would like to share with us, please email that to agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com. And I still haven't figured out a prize for it. Because we've been updating Elevated Delights here lately, and I've been kind of busy. So I need your ideas as well. I want to hear from you. Let me know. All right? Next week for Gang Girls Radio, we have Diane, and she's coming in with the real brass ring.